Hi, my name is Brandon Zaytuna, and this is my Community Connections Project. A community is a group of people with a common interest who come together for support in times of need. I created a survey with over 100 participants. The first question asked if they believed that they were active members of their communities. 86% of these people answered yes, as 14% answered no. I then went on to ask what communities these people were a part of. Some of them answered cities such as Troy. Some of them answered the Catholic community, the Oakland community, the football community. I also asked what their communities were doing to help those in need during COVID-19. Some of them answered not sure, but then others answered making masks or donating to organizations that help provide during COVID-19. I had also asked what each of them were doing personally to help their communities during COVID-19. A lot of them answered staying inside and keeping their social distance. I had then asked each of them what their own definitions of community was, and then I used all of their responses to come up with my own definition. After doing some research, I was able to find other communities helping out during COVID-19. The NBA community, specifically players, are donating to arenas to help provide for those losing their jobs during this pandemic. I was then able to find that the Feeding America community has taken direct action towards COVID-19 as they started funds to raise food banks and direct support for those impacted greatly by COVID-19. I then started to look closer to home. In these pictures, you can see my aunt sewing masks for members of her work community and for members of our family together. She did this in efforts to provide a protection towards COVID-19 as she feels for everyone in her communities, as she is just trying to do her part. She even gave one to me in efforts to keep me safe and healthy, as this is what members of communities do. They help protect one another. In these pictures, you can see Mass being live streamed by my Chaldean Catholic Church. Members of the community came together to find a way to provide a way of participating in Mass without actually being exposed to other people so that there is no threat of COVID-19. In the following videos, you'll see another example of how the Chaldean community is taking action towards COVID-19. You can see that adoration is being done outside so that members who would go to adoration could actually just sit in their cars so that there would be no risk of obtaining COVID-19 from just going to adoration. Then in my personal experience, members of my community, such as like my family and my friends, we all came together to celebrate one of our good friends' birthday. We all did this by going outside of her house and honking our horns so that she could get the sentimental value of us celebrating her and yet still protecting ourselves from COVID-19. My reasoning for providing all of these examples of how communities come together to defend and protect against COVID-19 was to provide real evidence of how communities actually work together and protect one another from danger. My last example is a TED Talk by Raj Jayadev. He provides a TED Talk about community and how they were empowered to come over the criminal justice system of blacks in America. He said they did this by using a method called participatory defense. It's a methodology for families and communities whose loved ones are facing charges, and how they could impact the outcome of those cases and transform the landscape of power in the courts. What members of the community do is they take specific evidence of the person being put on trial, and they take that evidence to court and have the court see them as the community sees them, for the good people as they are, and not for the offense that they are being put on trial for. So in conclusion, a community isn't just members who are living close to each other. They aren't members who have common interests or common hobbies. It's actually members, just a group of people who have each other's backs. It's a group of people who work together to make the overall conditions of their lifestyle better. They work together to keep each other safe and healthy so that each of them can have a good and prosperous life. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys take into account everything I said and put that into your guys' lifestyles so that each of you can help impact your communities in a better way.